Okay, you have a silly question. Can we use a ranged weapon in Tower Shield? I think you can. That's actually something that I was kind of blanking on over the course of Formicid here, but I feel like you can with the Formicid. No special ranged weapons are two-handed. No, exactly. Yeah, on the beautiful FOMO here. In fact, do I want to go monk, experience some FOMO, spread it with the rest of the class? But yeah, Dark Pirate, if you're also thinking the same thing, I do believe that that is the case. You can use a bow, because I think that I've used the Storm Bow with the Tower Shield on a Formicid before. Definitely one of the strongest runs that I've ever had the pleasure of piloting, and a super good time. But okay, is Axe the problem? No, there's no way. Axe is never the problem. Number one reason you don't swap to ranged weapons a lot is because you'd have to lose a shield, and shields are too good. 100% on the same page there, Thelphon. I absolutely adore shields for that very reason. But okie dokie, for Saphid, we'll go with your suggestion that we've been putting off for a long time now. Ulysses S. Ant. I don't know enough about American politics. Ulysses S. Grant. Are they a good person or a terrible person? How do I feel about this character? Do I want to be making fun of them the whole run, or should I praise their abilities and things that they get done? I know he's a general on one side of the Civil War, which is why I ask, because there's a kind of objectively wrong and right side to be on there, in my opinion. But regardless, we'll hop into it. And you can let me know how we should feel about Ulysses as we continue on with the run here. He won the Civil War and was the president after Lincoln? Hey, there we go. Fantastic. I'm always super confused because, again, I don't know my American history super well. So I'm always concerned whenever it's a Civil War general that I'm accidentally calling out the wrong side of history. But we stand Ulysses S. Grant if that's the case. Now, ranged weapon shield is great, and shields are helpful against some or all projectile spells for sure. And if you can get a good ego on your shield, like Reflection, that way you still have the regen amulet, and you get the sweet pleasure of rebounding enemy crystal spears directly into their face. I mean, you just can't lose. And to quote Wiki, later as President Grant was an effective civil rights executive who created the Justice Department and worked with the radical Republicans to protect African Americans during Reconstruction. Heck yeah, brother. For the confused, if you go that far back in history, Dems and Repubs have the exact opposite roles than they now have. See, that I was aware of. I knew that they've kind of flip-flopped over the course of history. But we'll, of course, hop in here as our final thing, grab another lovely seed, because this time, we're going to have just a stupid amount of luck. So you definitely want to check out this seed on your own time as well. There we go, pop it on up there for a view, just in case anybody wants to play along at home and see how they fare here in the Deep Dark Dungeon. Hello, my friends. Oof. Dagger of Speed. Okay. Ulysses! Gosh darn it. Oh, do you know what? I'm stupid too, though. I decided at the end there, if you couldn't tell, that we might as well just swing for the fences, either murder this son of a gun, or make it through in one piece. Unfortunately, the right move was probably just to run away. Kobolds are not faster than me, and I could have just healed up, gone for round 2, healed up, gone for round 3. You get starting to see the pattern there. But of course, we're never Ulysses S. Ant, don't know the guy, and instead, it's our first time as the General of the United States of America. Oh, geez Louise. Let's try this again, shall we? This time, we're gonna, do right by history and win. Win the war, as it were. For freedom. And all good folks. You go back far enough in history, the cultural norms were much worse than today, and so the good people at that time might still have had views that were very unethical by today's standards. Yup. But which were progressive and forward thinking at the time, right? It's all a relative sliding scale. It's hard to judge people from the time to the same standards as today. I mean, you still do to a certain extent. You don't need to praise them as the perfect human beings and heroes that did nothing wrong, but instead treat them as individual cases is what I generally like to do. Generally, there are not people who are just all good, and there's a bit of a give or take. But this time, for real, this is the God Seed, and we're gonna give it another shot here with good old Ulysses S. Ant for the first time ever, of course. And look at that, no speed dagger in the first seconds of the run. Fantastic. Exactly how we drew it up in the planning room. And if we die to another enchanted dagger, then maybe Formicid is completely cursed, and I should have taken a page from Ninth Settler's book, when they suggested that I wait a month and try out Formicids once Trunk makes it to stable, because apparently it's a heck of a lot of fun to play Formicids in the current edition, especially since if you truly want to go a little bonkers, you can equip those giant spiked clubs with without a shield, unfortunately, which kind of gives up one of the fun parts of Formicids, but at the same time adds a new fun aspect, and for that, I think it's pretty dang sweet. There aren't enough species that can use those big old clubs. And fantastic. I don't think we set any skill targets this time, so let's quickly do that before we get too much further along here. Probably not going to hit them for a while, but still kind of nice to have around. And we're looking for no Ajib with the poison dagger. And apparently no speed daggers, even though at least this time we're no longer level 1, so maybe there's a slightly better shot that we make it through. You thought I was going to say take a page from Ninth's book and play a game more fair than DCSS? Oh yeah, that is a stream title for Rift Wizard, but a week back. Definitely fair enough. Oh jeez Louise, why is every run Natasha? Okay, I'm so sorry Natasha. We're going to try and get out of your hair as soon as we can. We haven't even found any downstairs yet though. Okay, so we only have a little bit of extra leeway here. If we find Natasha again, I think we can get away with one more kill and then things start to get a wee bit dicey. And I'm hoping that we don't have to break any rules here today. Trying to become a better ant, as it were. Oh wait, there's a downstairs right there. Am I losing my mind? But Safe, do you honestly don't think you're going to play 0.29 until they inevitably roll back opportunity attacks? I'm excited to try it out a little bit, though I am concerned as to how much it will affect me, because I'm so used to the current way of the world that it's definitely going to be a bit of a paradigm shift. Which is exciting in many ways, but also terrifying. Sure, we'll be seeing lots of early deaths, which, you know, is so different from what we normally do with our absolutely god-tier playthroughs, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting ride, to say the least. Wonder if that little shadow we saw of a person walking by was Natasha, since the majority of monsters should still be asleep on this floor. It's mostly Natasha that we're on the lookout for. I guess a sling probably is not too bad, especially if we immediately have bullets. Like, if we adjust you, my friend, to be real quick, how fast do we attack? Pretty dang slow, especially immediately running into an adder. Close range? No, thank you. Let's try that again. I think I double pressed my apostrophe, and that time just pressed the wrong key completely. Boy, am I on fire today. Just absolutely killing it. Oh, great work, Torinski. I need to stop. I'm just extending my mandibles in place, you know, to flex on the Sons of Guns. You gotta make sure you assert your dominance here in the dungeon. The best way to do that is to just stick out your mandibles when nobody can see you. Because at least you know that you're absolutely wrecking on these fools, I guess, is what I'm going for. And that is fantastic. Better start so far here. For sure, to say the least. Quarterstaff, always kind of nice. Ring of Flight, sure, I'll put it on. Probably end up swapping that out, but an early bit of deep water could make all the difference. And right, we're back to getting to choose a god. I was so used to just faded altars all the time, but now I'm excited again for the temple. You have a Wand of Digging plus 0 dagger. Now that's more like it. Oh, no dagger of poison. Fantastic. I still don't know how that dagger was just brutal against us. I mean, are we weak to poison? I feel like at some point, were Formicids at some point weak to poison? I feel like that's something on the tip of my brain, but maybe I'm confusing them with someone else. Regardless, we're all right. Something like Rue that gives me a get out of combat free card anyway is good for the fact that you've... Sorry, I read those out of order. Haven't played .29 for a while basically means only play mage or something that has an escape plan, like Rue. That makes sense. And that's optimal Ejib. It's about dang time. Fantastic. I'm very grateful for that. So this time, Ulysses is going to go the distance, you know? Amulet of Magic regen, probably not a hot ticket item for us. I think we can face off against an early Necrophage, a beautiful amount of experience when you find those Sons of Guns this early on in the run, especially on a character that's strong enough to take them down, I guess, specifically. Ooh, I am more concerned about an Iguana, but we managed to do that while keeping ourselves in one piece. And there's another repeat. Again, we seem to be getting just a slew of very similar results here. I'm gonna might up against the bear just to get them killed before that berserk does too much damage on our soul. And that is fantastic. Now don't you poison me lethally, Adder. Don't you touch that cactus, son. Fantastic. So we're currently in the progress of getting some sweet revenge for all of our fallen comrades. Gloves of Sifmuna. Harm, which is an ego that I tend to just... not me, no thank you, ma'am. Resist poison and resist corrosion, though, is an interesting little combination. Just for the resist poison, that's almost tempting on its own. And X of Freezing, I stepped towards them without checking to see if that was a poison weapon, because now I'm just hyper paranoid. The next poison weapon I come across, it's gonna kill me, no matter how strong my character is. I just know it. Give it to me straight, Doctor. Will I ever play the violin again? And let's just drop our friend down a shaft. Ooh, you know, you're not much better if I'm being honest, but I think we can take you. Fantastic. Definitely a little closer than I care to admit. There's Sif again if we decide to go that route. We could go with Hep. Hep's kind of interesting. Always nice to have another body in the way. We'd probably want to swap to polearms, do something similar to what we saw in some of our previous runs, but for the time being, we'll keep going and hope that we run into the Economical Temple right away, because then we could have it a little more open-ended. I feel like we've kind of just been flying with whoever is available to us, slash pretty much always going for Fated Altars recently, so it might be fun to have a bit more intention to our options this time around. Maybe try out someone we haven't gotten the chance to experience in a while. That could be a lot of fun. What the heck is that little fortress over there? Just kobolds up the wazoo? Very interesting. What's that deal here? Maybe Ashen'Zari? See, Ashen'Zari was definitely one that I was debating before starting the stream this evening. Ash is just so strong in general, largely because they counter my greatest weakness, which is never identifying anything. And Buddy's Ghost, Buddy the Destroyer. Hey there, Buddy. That is one of ours, I believe, and just tons of enchanted weapons. Sphere of Venom? Sphere of Venom? Nah. Not getting me this time, you sons of guns. Though that is something we could potentially clear in the future. And there's the temple. Let's take a quick peek. Ash is definitely down here. Not too bad. I guess we could potentially go with Rue if they're around. But let's take a look at our options. Okay, we did pass Rue. Well, I wasn't paying attention. You were thinking that on a stasis species, that passive knowledge of where enemies are is invaluable. Definitely a bit. I mean, we do have the antennas, so that helps us with that already on its own. Quaslaw is kind of interesting, but probably not a great idea. I love Quaz, personally, but it's a bit of a hope that you snowball out of control or you're going to get royally screwed. Gozag is pretty no-brainer for the most part, just super strong. Rue and Wujian I find to be a lot of fun. Ashinzari, I'd say Ashinzari and Gozeg are my two top contenders for just I want to win. I want a consistent thing. You're always a big Rue fan also. Let's try out Rue. I've only done one real run with Rue before, and I definitely enjoyed it. We have a lot of sacrifices we can make with no real desire to get into spell casting, so that's pretty huge. But 3 of your last 4 and 4 of your last 7 wins are with Rue. See, that's a pretty dang solid record if you ask me. Where the heck are you, Rue? There you are. That's the ticket. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Intimidating foes sounds good to me. Aura of Power, always fantastic. The heal is pretty great as well. I need to get better with Power Leap, but that last one there, the terrible wrath on your foes, that's Apocalypse, I think it's called, and that is just beautiful. What happens if we sacrifice a hand? I feel like I read about this once. I think you do lose the ability to use shields and stuff still. I could be wrong, but I think you lose 2 hands because Rue, you know, is all about that perfectly equivalent exchange. Equivalent exchange. The most important of rules to remember. Definitely don't go trying to revive any of your dead family members. We all learned that the hard way. By watching it happen to someone else, of course, in a fictional series. Any species that sacrifices a hand loses shield ability, and loses 1 ring slot, so that's not great. You can do up to 20 damage total. There we go. Fantastic. A little bit close to the cuff there when it comes to fighting even a single ice beast, but still not the end of the world. And let's bring our Orcan friends on a bit of a wonderful chase, hopefully away from any potential priests that they had in their party. And we probably should say hello to whoever is around here. Fantastic. And what the heck is even that? Oh, okay. You know what? That actually makes a large amount of sense. Bunch of kobolds, hello friends, and poison. Of course. Why is it always poison? But there we go, managed to kill enough of them. We can pick up all of those poison darts, giving us a nice supply to then turn on our foes. Fantastic. Yeah, it's looking like we probably won't sacrifice hand because I am very much enamored by the idea of getting a chance to experience the Executioner Axe Tower Shield combo, if at all possible. We'll see this time around if it is in the stars to come to pass, but we'll try our best regardless to keep that as a potential option for the future. Okay, no priest so far, but we do have a wizard. I also, when we had the donut build going, I kind of forgot that Formicids can just straight up see invisible, so we're never going to see any silly shenanigans with the halo of light and Death Meadow shadow in the middle, unfortunately. But maybe something for someone else to try in the future, because I am very curious what the result of that would be. It's a bit of a wacky scenario that I've never found myself in before, to say the least. I'm looking at the wiki, it appears that as Formicid you lose a set of hands. Not entirely sure what that means, but it seems unpleasant. Yeah, I think that, to me, that confirms that you do unfortunately lose a pair of them on one side, so that's not great. Do we leave anything on the upper floors uncleared? We did leave one floor, but it does have a Natasha wandering about, who I would like to not kill if at all possible. Okay, Pickle, if you get to us before your friends, we're in business. Separate you from the pack. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And there we go, we free the souls of the damned without even needing to take shots to the face this time. That's a much better scenario than we usually experience in that situation. Let's buy some shiny ring mail and see what we get. Ooh, willpower. +1 chainmail of willpower. Don't mind if I do, my friend. That is beautiful. Still no rings that I've missed picking up. Some Natasha's floor, which was 2. I think so. That sounds about right. can do a quick one of those. Yes, indeed. But otherwise, things are looking pretty solidly explored, so we'll just head back down. I mean, we're in a pretty decent spot even for D7. I should be more careful with vampire mosquitoes, though. Okay, get me in. 13 damage and drain. Oh boy. Okay, what do I turn you into? Oh, not susceptible. Never mind. Ignore me. Let's read this. Assume a fierce visage against anyone else. That would be incredible. Oh my gosh, we have 4 fear scrolls. Let's hope that we don't die to these sons of guns in the process. I don't think we've identified nothing, right? Like, we still have heal wounds as a potential safety net here. Hopefully one of these 3-stack or 2-stack potions. Not again. Not again, Ulysses. Not like this. Not like this. Let's do this early. Potion of Curing. Okay, that's decent. You're up to 13 damage, so we can still afford to take some hits. Now we're in the danger zone again. Do I just chug another Curing? I'd like to save them for poison, but I think I gotta. Jeez Louise. Is this my regular reminder that we might want to ID some stuff? Nah. No, I think we're fine. Well, let's check this potion. It's haste. Fantastic. Well, let's just heal again, I guess, and... Oof, oof, oof. We're in the open area. We could use some Ice Blast to finish this off. As is, it's unfortunately not so much of an option, so I guess we just YOLO this? We could drink one more potion and hope that it's heal wounds, in which case we can maybe finish this fight off in one piece. As is, it's going to be a roll of the dice, to say the least. But hey, maybe we're just getting all of the bad mojo out of the way today. Even if it's just the early section, then we have one solid start to a run, and then we're all prepped for Sunday to be the blessed day where we're just going to run into all the greatest luck you ever dang did see. Let's drink another potion. It's Ambrosia, which is kind of a heal, don't get me wrong. Oh my gosh, we're out healing the damage. So you're saying there's a chance, not a very good chance, but technically a chance? Perfect, there we go. Attaboy, Ulysses. You get bored when there aren't enough birds, but that's just you. Well, unfortunately, the majority of time that we run into birds in this game, it's going to be a scenario where we have to kill them, which I'm guessing is not the way that you wish to see birds showing up, but is just an unfortunate part of life in the dungeon here. That stretch redemption just in time to stretch and then identify. Oh right, I still need to make an identify redemption sometime. Just make it ridiculously expensive so that I can scam people out of channel points, since I've just been letting them build up steadily over the past however long that you've been following the channel here. But let's do it. So that was teleportation. Perfect, does absolutely nothing. Maybe these are ID? Enchant weapon. What the heck? I have just one ID scroll? So I guess the identifying is gonna have to wait just a smidge. And we'll just get back on the road for now. Jeez Louise. So water moccasin I'm kind of running away from. I guess let's take a quick peek. What are my chances of hitting you? 50-50. I'm scared of the poison because we don't have any curing left. We unfortunately used up all the curing in the Great War, and now we're stuck just scrambling for whatever scraps of existence I can find. What the heck is even that? Broodmother, Black Draconian, or Ice Dragon? Those are all objectively worse. Well, I think we're just gonna have to do a quick hightailing over here. I'm very lucky the mosquito didn't step onto the stairwell that we were hoping to take up. Doesn't mean I'll be lucky enough to kill you. No, there we go. Fantastic. Jeez Louise. Do we still have a stairwell we haven't explored? That one's a bit close to our Hydra friend, if you ask me. I guess other one is probably fairly safe, right? Oh, jeez. We do have to try and sneak past the Hydra, which I don't know are odds. Never mind, never tell me the odds. As I start to immediately get turned to stone. And there's also a freaking manticore. Who does and a cyclops? Excuse me, ref? That's quite the D7 monster. How about these? How do you feel about these monsters right here? Okay, I'm gonna start walking up though. And there we go. Now we have all of our new friends in one place. So I'm gonna read fear. It does not get you, hey? Six-headed Hydra easily resists. What is this vault indeed? A terrifying one. And I guess our only real option is to do this. Okay, the Hydra ran away this time, but I don't know if it was in time, unfortunately. I only have one more fear scroll. Okay. So what do I do? Try and dig our way out of trouble. If I can get to a slightly safer position, I can shaft myself. I mean, I could still just shaft myself now, I guess. It takes a few turns to happen. Also, right, I forgot we had sacrifices. Why didn't you tell me? Cannot study or cast poison transmutations or conjurations? That's fine by me. Too much of this stuff is faster ranged, right? Definitely gonna have a hard time getting away. Probably should have just shafted immediately instead of going for the fancy fear scroll plays. Got a bit too big for my britches. Let's see. Cannot use magical scrolls when threatened. I don't think so, Rue. Not today. Let's sacrifice Arcana. Yes, please. Water Moccasin is not who I want next to me. Do you know what? We're just gonna shaft myself and see what happens. Water Moccasin was stunned by our conviction. Perfect. And you know, I'm guessing, despite how terribly that all went, we're probably gonna have an easier time here on D7 if we don't find ourselves in another weird little vault area. So let's just do some quick IDing. Useless blinking scroll. Perfect. And with that, we are out of identify. So I guess let's just drop our teleportation scrolls since they do absolutely nothing. Maybe a good read. I don't know what's written on the scrolls in this day and age. Spectral Orc, I think we're okay against. Perfect, good confirmation. We hear the hiss of flowing sand. Maybe it's in here? Jeez, I don't like the look of this crowd though. You know, I probably should have ran before the Wyvern joined the chat here. Let's might up. And hope we kill both these sons of guns in rapid succession. Oh boy. It's been a wild ride, an interesting adventure so far to say the least. What did I leave up here? Just Zambus? It's just Zambus. I'm coming back for seconds. Still hungry. Think we take the moccasin. Did I miss any messages? It doesn't look like it quite yet. So where normally we'd be sprinting for an extremity of the map just to get a better indication of where it would be. Very distant, apparently. If we're in the middle of the map, that means basically nothing. But maybe we'll try and pick a direction a bit more confidently here, I guess is the word I'm going for. Ooh, white pack? It'd be nice. Okay, and we see the very distant message again. It'd be nice if one of these sons of guns had an axe. Because if we could get and their axe, that seems fantastic. Yeah, Kite Shield is fantastic as well. In fact, I probably should start training towards that son of a gun right away. We get the +2 in shield, so that is a pretty good investment for the future. Ah, there's the ossuary. Alarm trap? No, thank you. And we should be able to take on the majority of stuff here. I'm not used to ossuaries that come this late in the run. but I'm sure it will be fine. Definitely never had any troubles with anything in this game ever before. There she is, and let's pop through. What does an ossuary at this date look like? You know what? I'm gonna say no to that. Oh, apparently they were all alarm trapped. Plot twist. Well, that's fine by me. Fortunately, most of the enemies here sleep like the dead. I know, shocker, right? Let's just pop through and we should be able to take most of these Sons of Guns on. I'm ready for one of these to be like surprise caustic shrike, but hopefully that's not the case today. I'm trying to think of the strongest zombie that I've fought in one of these vaults before. And I'm definitely blanking at the moment. Regular mummies are kind of pointless pushovers since cursing stopped being a thing. Yeah, especially on a character like this, like on a very kind of early game caster, you might find yourself in a bit of a spot of trouble, but definitely at this stage, kind of a nice little breeze for us to murder our way through, which is nice if I'm being honest, especially with the run that we've had so far. Oh, and of course, magical flails, magical swords, but none of that sweet, sweet axe goodness, hey? That's fine, that's fine. Mission failed, we'll get them next time. Ooh, let's switch to the positive energy from our Ring of Flight for now. We'll still keep the Ring of Flight around, of course, just in case we can abuse the ever-living crap out of something, and that's more like it, my friends. Strength -4, I don't even mind. A +7 hand axe of Venom is huge in the early game. So let's try that son of a gun out. Will obviously fall off due to the low base damage of the hand axe, but for now it should be incredible. Unless we find ourselves facing off against a two-headed ogre, of course. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Let's do quick evoke of our Wand of Digging. Blast our way through this way. Nope, that's more friends. But okay, Centaur is faster than two-headed ogre. And that's what I was relying on, because now I'm hoping that we can kind of just sneak our way through here. In fact, what am I even doing? Let's head down to this stair. It's closer and fully explored, so that's a much safer option. Jeez Louise. Not what you wanted to see.